Alright, what's going on everybody? Anime Rainbow back with another episode. Today we'll be discussing Boruto chapter 73. What is going on? Well, if you remember where we left off from the last chapter, Code got his limiters removed. He went to the dimension with the Ten Tails. He made his Code clones from the Ten Tails chakra, slapped on his Code claw marks on top of them. He's running with a pretty deep army with some pretty powerful allies now that he and Ida and Damon have had their falling out. Even with his limiters being removed, he still was no match for Damon, right? I mean, my god. Damon whooped his fucking ass, and flash forward, they got the green light to come back to Konoha, and now we are picking up with chapter 73 of this chapter. You have the new Team 7, well, you have the old Team 7, Mitsuki, Sarada, and Boruto approaching the Hokage's office, where they're going to meet with Kawaki, and the new Team 7 will have their first official mission, at least in the manga, right? In the anime, they've been running for some time now. They had the entire arc in the Hidden Mist Village in the anime, where that was their first mission, but here in the manga, even though they're supposed to be connected, the first mission that they're having in the manga is well, them going back to the house, right? It's been an ongoing thing. They've just been on lockdown. Even have Sasuke, I'm flashing all the way to the end of this chapter, but even Sasuke to some degree was like, this is glorified house arrest, which is what they've kind of been on for some time now. I mean, not too long ago they were on house arrest, and you had the sensory unit guarding Kawaki and Boruto, making sure they didn't leave. And then they break out, they go, they fight Code, they get their asses whooped, they go back to the village, and then immediately after recovering and Boruto being excited that he's finally out of the house, he finds out that his next mission, what Shikamaru was about to brief them on, is to go back into a house. So they're on house arrest again. Now this time is not like last time where they were just sitting around. This time they have a legitimate threat that's going to be involved. So Shikamaru invites the entire Team 7 to the office, and he basically breaks it to them. The mission that is going to go down is that Team 7 will be in charge of Ida and Damon when they get to the Leaf Village. They're coming here, they're going to be under our watch, and it's your job to keep them in the house and make sure that they're appeased. Do not do anything to piss them off. Don't anger them. You need to keep the peace as much as possible, because as of right now, they have the possibility to quite literally destroy the entire Leaf Village, and they have no course of action other than Kawaki. Originally, Sarada and Mitsuki are listening to this and they're like, okay, so we're all going to be inside of the house. Well, then you have Konohamaru come through, and Shikamaru is like, no, this is really only a mission for Kawaki and Boruto due to Ida's ability, and this is where they have to brief them on Ida's ability. The fact that she can see all and hear all, and it's not just connected to what's currently happening in the present. There is speculation on Shikamaru's end that she has the ability to see the past, kind of like a Rolodex or a film roll where she can just scroll through it. We don't know how far back she is able to do that, but the fact that she can poses everything as a problem. So Shikamaru has to tell Kawaki, look, be careful what you say, because if you say something, she hears it, she might lose her fucking mind and destroy us anyway. So Kawaki's like, what the fuck does this have to do with me? Why do I have to do this? And Shikamaru comes out and says it right in the front. Ida has a crush on you. And what I said in my previous videos was that Kawaki's not going for this. He's not going to go for this, but he does. He does end up going for this because he does love the Leaf Village, or more, he loves Naruto. And he loves being a part of that family. He loves that close-knit relationship that they had. I don't have a problem with that, because he's doing his part for the village to try to seem like he's not just there just to be safe, right? He wants to contribute to the overall success and longevity of the Leaf Village, which is important. My problem this chapter is that Shikamaru kind of goes about it the wrong way when he's talking to specifically Kawaki, right? You can kind of get away with that talking to Boruto in that manner, that straightforward, because he hasn't known the trauma that Kawaki has known. Kawaki is an extremely frail individual when it comes to his mentality and his emotions. This is an individual who, since a very young age, has been subjected to abuse by his father, then subjected to the abuse by the Otsutsuki clan that wanted to use him as a vessel for karma. So you gotta proceed with caution. He's already on guard because he feels like he doesn't belong. He's not from the Leaf Village, and as far as I'm concerned, there's still a secret going around as to who Kawaki really is, because Naruto doesn't want what happened to him to happen to Kawaki. That's where they connect on such a close level, because Naruto's trying to prevent that level of isolation that he had to feel as a kid. Not just isolation, but resentment and fear, because they didn't know if he was going to destroy the village. Well, Kawaki being in the village is symbolic in that sense that everybody, or at least the Otsutskis, want Kawaki, so they're going to attack the village in order to get him. So because of this, at least in my opinion, Naruto should not have allowed Shikamaru to be there by himself to deliver this information, because you don't know how Kawaki is going to react to that. Shikamaru flat out comes out and says is that we can't keep your power in check. As far as I'm concerned, we have to treat you as a threat. This is the ninja world. For Kawaki, being treated as a threat is quite literally a matter of life or death. Then you get down to what Boruto's responsibility is, alright? You have to remember that Ida's whole goal is to find love from someone who is not affected by her ability. Okay, so that's what leads her to Kawaki, and that's what kind of, you know, lumps Boruto in that situation, right? Ida doesn't necessarily want Boruto. He's just an option. And Shikamaru comes out and kind of hints at that, right? Because the whole thing is cohabitation. Kawaki and Ida don't hit it off. It's really Naruto's responsibility to come in there and defuse the situation by any means necessary, right? I mean, look, the entire village is at stake, and Shikamaru actually says the entire ninja world is at stake because of how large Ida's ability is. And from the look on Boruto's face, I have to assume he got the hint at what that means. If Ida does not like Kawaki, she has no reason to stay in the village. She has no reason to uphold her end of the bargain. Because of Damon's ability, Ida could actually walk out the front gate of Konoha at any time that she wants. It is more important than anything else that Ida likes either Kawaki, preferably, or Boruto, regrettably. Sarada and Mitsuki's whole part of this mission is to not be inside of the house, to be on the outskirts of the house and monitor everything along with the sensory unit. And if anything is to pop off, either Ida goes crazy or, God forbid, Momoshiki finally does take over and pop out of Boruto in that moment to try to take down Ida. I don't know why they would have issues or beef or whatever, but maybe so. We haven't seen Momoshiki around Ida or Damon yet, so we don't know how they're going to react to Momoshiki's chakra. Maybe they'll be able to sense it. Maybe Momoshiki will take that moment to take over Boruto and launch a preemptive strike at them for whatever grudge they may have towards them. But since we're on the topic of Momoshiki, I have to bring something up because while all of this information is being given to Boruto, I can only assume that Momoshiki is also keeping all of this information and can hear all of this information as well. We don't know what Momoshiki's end goal is, but we know that he wants to take over Boruto's body and live out his own life. Something could be being cooked up by Momoshiki on his end. The fact that in this chapter, on page 39, we see the essence of Momoshiki pop up. Now, in this moment, you have Kawaki and Sasuke both very quickly register that Momoshiki is there, and then you have Momoshiki disappear. That is great news to know that Sasuke, even without his Sharingan or his Rinnegan Sharingan activated or Rinnegan at all, we know he got stabbed out, that he is able to sense Momoshiki's and Otsutsuki's chakra. That would have been an incredibly useful tool to have when you got your eye stabbed out, because apparently you couldn't sense Otsutsuki's chakra, but now you can. I really don't want to hear excuses for it, dog. I mean, it's plain as fucking day. This is the same Momoshiki's chakra that you couldn't sense, but now you can. Kawaki, again, is just another fucking thing that comes out of the arsenal of what you can do when you have the karma mark. You're able to sense goddamn everything. It's just convenient, dog. So Momoshiki, in my mind, he has something cooking up, and there is no better place to activate a trap or jumpstart an altercation than when you have Ida and Damon in your presence, because you have to also, because you got to think, right? Momoshiki would definitely know Ida and Damon, right? Is that too far of a stretch? Like, how long ago were these androids actually created? I know I might be missing some lore here, but that's a serious question. Does Momoshiki actually know Ida and Damon, and were they on good terms? An option that was left off the table by Yamato was the whole blood-related loophole that's in Ida's ability, right? Because it's not just Otsutsukis that are immune to her effect, it's also blood relatives that are immune to her ability. So, in theory, if Damon ever wanted to, he could kill Ida with no problem whatsoever because he is immune. This might have been done intentionally. What am I saying? Of course it was done intentionally by Yamato. He only cares about himself, but it does bring into question the relationship that Yamato has with the androids that he created. What is his relationship to Ida, Damon, Delta, Kashin Koji? What is his relationship to these individuals? Because that's gonna matter. If you're able to find a blood relative other than Damon of Ida, you may be able to exploit that. These are androids that we're talking about, so you have to think they may have like legit components to them, right? Actual blood relatives somewhere out there in the real world, maybe distant removed cousins, I don't know, right? A blood relative of some kind, the next of kin, if you will. That is an option that's on the table. I think Yamato intentionally left that off because he doesn't want Shikamaru and them to snoop around and find out details about Ida and Damon, because potentially if you find out details about those two, you might actually find out that, hey, there's an actual blood relation to somebody in the Land of Fire that they have easy access to. And if you're able to easily find that individual, the next of kin, multiple generations down, because again, we don't actually know when these individuals were created, you might be able to find out and uncover some information about who Amato really is and his relationship to the Land of Fire, or what his true motives may be. The very last part of this chapter, I talked about it a little bit at the front when I brought up Sasuke and him sensing Momoshiki's chakra, but the very last part about this is we get an explanation, or we see Naruto and Sasuke talking, and Naruto's bringing Sasuke up to speed on what the plan is, what's going down. This is why he was not with Shikamaru when Shikamaru was briefing Team 7, because he had to brief Sasuke on everything that is going down. This is when Sasuke said, it's glorified house arrest what you're doing. Naruto says, yeah, but it's kind of necessary, because the last thing that he wants is for them to be running around outside, them not knowing where they are, and them dying outside of the Leaf Village. So at least when they're confined inside the space of the Leaf Village, Naruto can easily monitor them. Sasuke can easily monitor them. Konohamaru, Tsunade, Sakura, all these people, they are under the scope of the Leaf Village. So this is best case scenario and a worst case scenario. He wants them in the forefront, and if he kind of has to use a little bit of reverse psychology in order for them to stay put, then he will. When he first tried this, right, a little bit of growth from Naruto, when he first tried this, he just wanted them on house arrest and to be sensed by a sensory ninja, and for them to stay put and be out of danger. That option's off the table, because in the same span of that chapter where all that was going down, Kawaki and Boruto unlocked a new ability to suppress their chakra, so now they have to essentially just keep them within eye shot, and that's keeping them basically in the lion's den. You know what I mean? Like, you're putting your 12-year-old up against a grown-ass woman and hoping that they are able to pull this out. This is Naruto's kid that we're talking about here, but they have the shield of karma on them, so, you know, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what happens. And lastly, it kind of happened in the middle of the chapter, but I mean, it's really just Ida listening in on the conversation, hearing everything that Shikamaru was saying, not having any problem with it. Of course, she wouldn't have a problem with the cohabitation. She doesn't have a problem with the fact that Shikamaru was being so open and honest. I don't have a problem with it either, because her goal is pretty basic, and if she does or does not get what she wants, is she really gonna calm down? I don't know, but she's listening in. She's blushing, she's grabbing her face, she knows that Kawaki knows, and she's just there. But I think I've rambled on long enough. If you made it to the end, thank you. If you are new, go plus ultra and smash the subscribe button. Let me know you rock with the content that I put out on the channel. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video. Comment on the video your thoughts about what you think is going on, how you think this is all going to unfold, if you think this is actually going to work or not. It probably is, but what is actually going to come from this, right? This entire manga is just like a big snowball. So she's in the village now. Is Code going to jump in and actually attack next chapter and a couple chapters after we've been in the house? Bored in the house. We're in the house bored. Bored than a motherfucker in the house bored with Kawaki, Boruto, Ida, and Damon? And Amato? Are they? I don't think Amato's going to be in there. Damon might be in there? I don't know if you want Damon in there. He might be trying to cock block. I mean, I couldn't imagine having to be in a house where they're supposed to be quote-unquote cohabitating, right? That's the clean version of it. And you're the brother. Nah, he's going to be cock blocking left and fucking right. So, but he has to stay there. Fuck it. I don't know, dog. We're going to find out next chapter. I will keep the content coming frequently as infrequent as humanly possible, and I'm out.